Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Case 8.6. Okay, well, let's continue this. Turn up the volume, as it were. No, not that loud. Okay, U.S. agreed to a trade. Trying to get positive there. And we now have another technology. Okay, infantry unit command and control. Okay, we're there at the 1939 levels. And well, let's go with twin engine fighter plane. We don't have any of those yet. Need to make them. Yeah. Okay, I decided to unattach all of these guys. This may be the quickest way. Attach them, and we're going to give them to the 12th Corps, because this guy has Fortress Buster and this heavy artillery attached to him, so I'm figuring he'd be the better one to, better HQ to deal with the Maginot Line. We'll use that HQ. Somewhere else. One of these guys. There we go. Okay, single engine fighter prototype. Good. That opens up all of these, but instead, oh yeah, we can move much more to officers. Okay, we'll let those. Overexpand too much. I want to get back to having high popularity again. Okay, artillery unit training. Let's check that. Yeah, so we're going to end that. We're already up to 97, which is good. Sure. Okay. Turkey. Okay, Turkey. Artillery unit. Confined arms. Light bombers. We've got lots of light bombers, so we're going to do that. Just to give you my reason, the reason I picked twin engine fighters to upgrade before, say, the light bombers is because we don't have any twin engine fighters, and I'm thinking that maybe we can get it attack upgraded now before we start producing them, so when we start producing them they'll be at a better quality. That's sort of my thoughts on that. So yes, we need to stop that. But the opposite is true for these two, particularly in that we have a lot and we want to get them upgraded. I know it might not make sense, but it sort of does to me. One way or another, there's going to be something to need to upgrade, I'm sure. Yeah, let's do that. Now that education investment, that should kick in here. Hopefully increase our... Well, maybe it'll stick it all just to officers. No, we will also get an increase. So... And railroad networking work has advanced. Good. Yeah, we can do this. And this would be yes, level 4. We're going to do that. Yeah, so 0.2% for both efficiency and supply throughput. So that's nice. Reinforce. Let's more there. Yeah, some Canadian fighters will be nice, but I do sort of want to wait for that tech to be done. It'll be a while, but maybe not too long. Can we, let's see, sell supplies to the Soviet Union? Okay, and can we, US get rare materials? That'll help. Won't solve the problem, but it'll keep it from being less big. Okay, good. Money, yeah, okay, you're close by, you won't be shipping anything. And submarines. I just hate to lose donuts in any battle, so. Mobile unit, good. Yeah, right there. Yeah, we'll go with cluster bombs. Let's see, like Japan. What is? They there's. They don't have much money. Okay, that would help a little bit. Just trying to improve relations there with Japan. Mentioning that, where is... well, Japan's moving closer towards us. Okay, direct unit fire control advance. Yeah, that's 39, but that doesn't count for that. What is that small caliber tank guys? Okay, yes. Ah, we do both of those. But that's pushing up very fast. So's that. We could just about stop our trades for coal. Be just fine. And maybe, I don't know, presume that any increase in IC is going to also have an increase in coal as well. Well, let's look at like submarines down here. Okay, yes. Or escorts. Yeah, we want to do escorts. Sure, you can have fuel. It looked like our radar finally got deployed. Yay. Okay. Oh, lovely. Okay. Okay. See, oh, that's a nice twin-engine fighter right there. Just, maybe I'm not looking at it carefully enough. Well, no, I didn't want to do that. Let's put all these down at the bottom. No, let's leave them up there. See how fast they happen. What's the date for these? August 39. Damn. I just don't understand really what other than the name change, what's better about these aircraft. There may be a newer model. Could be specified a newer, better model. They'd upgrade anyways, and If it's just the name change, man, that sucks. So you, oh good, high popularity. So you might want to keep that in mind. Okay, Czech artillery systems. During the occupation of Bohemia and Moravia, the Wehrmacht confiscated 2,175 guns, including 105 anti-aircraft guns, 785 mortars, and 123 mountain guns. These guns were made by the famous Skoda works and were very suitable guns. Now the mortars, I think, represent not the sort of generic mortars of a like an 80 millimeter mortar that you drop the rounds in. I think these are the big sort of siege type artillery mortar systems. So we've got those. Maybe I'll agree with that. Let's see. Yes, that's one of my bets, but it takes a long time. Ooh, a bunch of stuff, firepower, a bunch of stuff, and wait. Okay, so that's transport for them, I think. There we go. There's pack artillery, some anti-aircraft guns, some anti-tank guns, and there is medium and heavy artillery. So that's the product. So now we know we have a bunch of artillery that we have, so we can build some divisions without artillery. And without some of that stuff and add it to it. We have a bunch of civilian transport as well we confiscated. Okay. This is one of the groups named after Walter Wever. And that one, yeah, it did. Notice it has 0 ICs needing, so put that up to the top. I'll get readjusted real soon, but we'll see what we can do with that. Okay, the 1940 Olympiad. Next year is the 1940 Olympiad to be held in Helsinki, Finland. Again, the Winter Games are at Garmisch-Partenkirchen in Germany. We must prepare to receive the world's athletes. This will show the world our peaceful intentions. Now, just don't know if we don't see it or not, but there's another event that cancels, and maybe we just don't see it. It cancels the Japanese Olympics because they were supposed to have in 1940 hold the Winter and Summer Olympics. Well, their behavior in China, canceled that. So then the Olympic Committee looked around and what to do. Well, they decided to hold it in Helsinki in Finland, and since the last one did very well in Germany, and Finland didn't really have a good ski setup with the various bobsleds down hills and the high jump ski things. They just really weren't set up for all of that, even though it's a sort of Nordic country. And so Germany was going to get that again. So we're looking forward to it. It costs us a bit of metal and supplies to maintain the facilities. And obviously this happens. Depends whether the war happens. Okay. May Day. May Day was a big holiday for the Germans, or for the Nazis. They were very, very much trying to de-Christianize Germany, and May Day was one of the big sort of alternate holidays that they were pushing off. So lose some descent, although we've already gone out there and gained a little popularity. Okay, the Reich Colonial Bund in Vienna. Now that we control Vienna, the Reich Colonial Bund holds a meeting in there promoting the African allies. So that's good. Okay, MAG produced electric vehicles from 1936 to 1938, including forklifts and cranes. During the Second World War, MAG was involved in the program for the manufacture of assault guns and tank destroyers. Production of the Jag Panther began in January 1941 at MAG, where it was produced until the war's end. In November of 1944, production began at, okay, build MAG. Brunswick is getting lots of stuff, lots of metals. Damn. Yeah. Damn. And 6 well. Yeah. Should all these be really happening all at once? I don't know. So, nothing wrong with it. The only downside maybe is another hit to our manpower. And since the units increased, we barely had more of these. Okay. Hans Ohein, we had the earlier bench much earlier for jet development, so he is continuing to develop the jet engines. You can see compared to the very early sort of almost true donut shape, they're getting a little bit more elongated, developing better, and you can see the sort of test bed of a jet engine there. As you can tell in this drawing at least, there's no propellers there, but there's the vents and everything, so I presume there's also a propeller plane engine there, to get it up and then test out the early flight tests of the jets engines. So we can continue jet development, rare materials and some more metal. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, Radio Zeesen, Arabic and Persian language. This is part of Germany's outreach. Radio Zeesen is specifically tailored. It's broadcast from Berlin, but I believe the only thing that works out from there to the Arabic world is, and it's also in Turkish too, is shortwave radio. So it's sending out shortwave radios, and it broadcasts professional anti-Semitic program on a daily basis. This guy here, he's Iranian. Yeah, it's Davud Majdeh, whatever. Sorry if I'm butchering that wrong. He's very much involved in programming the radio station and working in the announcing and all that stuff. That is actually a slightly post-war, I think 47, but I'm not sure. I'm just guessing there from what I remember. Picture of him, sort of cut it off so you don't see it here. It's sort of a swastika-like armband on him because it didn't exist at this time. It's not that I've seen that it existed at this time. But he goes post-war to Iran and really starts a true sort of Nazi party for Iran, not just the sort of soft stuff that the Shah was doing, trying to modernize the country, trying do some elements that were definitely National Socialist, but he really tries to bring in a Nazi party. It basically fails. It never gets huge membership or anything like that. It's not like even like a 10 or 20% party. It's a very sort of small party that eventually falls apart, if I remember correctly. But I think primarily the radio going off at this time, this is before the war, and continues through the war. At this time, this propaganda is being put into the Muslim world, and a few of the other people that work there, Turks, Arabs, Persians, eventually go back to their home countries and continue to spread this anti-Semitic Nazi message that I very much think changes, yes, from sort of in which when he goes to Iran, his is sort of, a modernistic National Socialist or Nazi type message. But this gets absorbed by the Muslim Brotherhood and some of the radical Islamic elements in Iran that are still the mullahs running it today. It's not just a anti-Semitic viewpoint. There is to some degree an anti-Christian viewpoint. And yes, obviously, Germany was trying to do a neo-paganistic Third Reich. That's not what the mullahs do, obviously, but they take a lot of the, if you look at, from my understanding, a lot of stuff in Iran, it's sort of, most of it is state-controlled private ownership businesses. In a lot of ways, it's sort of a fundamentalist Islamic National Socialist viewpoint in a lot of ways. So it's not the same Nazism that is there, Nazi, but it does get the rabid anti-Semitism in the mullahs. Won't go into it, but I had some training way back into the very late 80s, early 90s. One of the trainers that I had, and I've tried to remember his name and I can't, and he was the guy who ran the Shah's prisons and the basic security for Tehran. Okay. He knew Ayatollah Khomeini. He had Ayatollah Khomeini in his prisons for some years. He knew him well, interviewed him often. Well, to me, he appeared like a nice guy, but I don't think he was a nice guy. Running the Shah's prisons, trust me. Very interesting training I got through that. He, of course, made it out of Iran during the Islamic Revolution. He was very much one of the targeted type peoples that the Ayatollah Khomeini wanted to get rid of. Very sort of involved in that. He was a modernist. He was happy to go to church. I mean, he was Muslim, but he was happy to go to church. He thought, particularly because he had spent some time in England, the Church of England, they're nice. They it's sort of like good cakes and things. Really pleasant. Had no trouble there. I don't think going to a Christian church meant that he was converting to Christianity. Just he saw it as, I think, he didn't explain it in detail, but I think just these are other believers in God. I mean, and that he believed, he was a Muslim that believed in God, but he was a modernist, and so he wasn't a fundamentalist. And so going to see other religious viewpoints wasn't like something wrong or evil or whatever. It was just, these are a different belief in God. Okay, they do it their way, we do it our way. I have no problem with going to a church service. Just, that's way. Now he very much worked with the Israelis during the Shah's regime, Iran was an ally of Israel because Iran, as he was working it, was, shall we say, somewhat anti-Arab. And under the Shah, they saw Israel as a Jewish-Arab conflict, not a Jewish-Muslim conflict. So in the power alliances of countries, Iran and Israel were sort of allied in various operations. And he also had served, I think it was in Yemen or Aden, well, South Yemen or something like that was one of the stuff. And so he had an interesting career, and he went through it. And trust me, by both the people that were sponsoring the training that I was going through, and he had all of his he made it out with all of his personal slides. And just in the days before PowerPoint, went through all the different people that he had and who, like one of his trainers was, I think, if I remember correctly, an 18-year-old girl who had Iranian, but who had gone to the Soviet Union. The Mujahideen in Iran was a secularist Soviet operation. They're different than the Mujahideen. They used the Islamic name, but she was a terrorist from the Soviet Union who was operating in Iran, which he captured. Like, I've often wondered whatever happened to her. He kept her for a while. As this sounds sort of brutal, it is. But and so she taught him all the different assassination techniques of how to take out people, and I mean, like a gun hit, how to do it. You always, if you're going after a target, you always have two shooters. The first shooter, he doesn't know the second shooter's there. The first shooter is sort of programmed to come in and draw everybody's attention and get shot, while the real shooter, to take out the actual target, hits from the flanks and whatever, and goes through. And it's been years since I've gone through the training, so I don't remember it all in any detail, but goes through all of the stuff. And he had the material. This is back in the days. I know it was all straight up real that he was giving. So that was the Shah. The Shah, and we've talked about the various National Socialist influences into Iran. Iran was moving to try to Westernize, to Europeanize, to adopt Aryan as its, which Iran sort of means Aryan, as its viewpoint instead of Persian. Wants to be thought in those terms, but the Shah never really takes that. But it does get into the society. This guy's trying to bring it into a modern way. It's Khomeini and the mullahs to pick it up and do it in a fundamentalist Islamic way. And so overnight, you go from being a general ally of Israel to a vehement enemy of Israel, purely on an ideological basis of anti-Semitism. That's how that goes. And so this, I believe, is a direct line of association from Nazism into this. So yes, that's sort of some of my background going and knowledge about some of this stuff. And so I sort of take that as firsthand, meaning guys who got out and who was that then trained some people of us. So yes, this influences my thinking on these things. And like I've said, and I correspond through various formats with some of you that are Muslim. I have no problem with Muslims. I have problems with fundamentalists. That's what I have problems with. So, okay, so Zeesen, whatever. We can fund it some supplies, which will improve our relation just a little bit with these countries, or not. Aren't I sort of clever and sort of putting, because that's the official dimensions of this period of the Iranian flag. That's why it's super long up there. But you notice the what is it? Iraq flag here at the time is longer than in proportion, because they're all the same height, than the Turkish or the Egyptian or the Persian flag. So they were doing different things than sort of standard stuff. So I sort of cleverly put it in geographical location or whatever. So we could do that or not. We're going to do it because maybe that will just help a little bit in getting someday Saudi Arabia or Iran or something into our corner, which we would like. Oh, okay. Just got a bunch of events. Oh, shoot. Are you done being finicky here? There we go. Oh, well, I guess we better go through these. I don't know what's sort of being so finicky right now. Okay, this is, shouldn't it have happened long before now? Goebbels announces the winner held from the population of 1949 and approximately 7 point. Oh, well, okay, this is that. This is what the winter relief fund. So yes, so good. Man, what's going on here? Okay, yes, it's sort of delaying for some reason. Okay, well, I guess we got that. Okay. Luftwaffe propaganda wings. After the prototype of the Heinkel HE-112 was produced in relevant numbers, however, not meeting the requirements of a technical criteria for a interceptor of the Luftwaffe, Joseph Goebbels nevertheless ordered the German media to run a campaign in which the new fighter was displayed as the latest innovation of the German Luftwaffe to boost its morale even further and confuse and possibly frighten any potential foes in the West. The aircraft never played any noteworthy role in the following years. Okay, well, yep, I guess we gotta find them. Okay, this is the Bohemian and Moravian military occupation as opposed to the ORPO occupation element. So we can do this or not. And cost us some ICs for a long time. Cost us plenty power, but we gain partisan suppression. Officers and yeah, we'll do that. Okay. That was causing us a little bit of problems. I'm not quite sure why. There we go. Well, it seems like everything's running fine now. Hope that recorded well. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Let me just save it here to be safe, just in case something else fucks up. Okay, let's see. We don't have any money. I'm going to sell supplies to the Soviet Union. And let's see if we can buy some rare materials. We don't need that money. A little extra. Good. And everything just popped up again too. Okay. Naval strike tactics advance. Okay, 38 on that. Let's do 38 on attack rifle. Artillery barrel and ammunition, yeah, that's what is most likely. It's pushing that too far forward. Let's do the AM. Anti-tank and AM. Okay. Another one of the manuals I sort of found on throwing the hand grenade, basically. So, these events are causing problems here. Okay, well, you know, I'm going to end the episode here. It just sort of, I don't know whether it's my system is trying to do something in the background or what. Definitely just so that you understand, though, recording these episodes while playing it does use up more resources. So I've sometimes wondered if that was maybe causing some of my stuff. So I don't know if that's causing it or something else. So I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for liking the videos. I really do appreciate that. And of course, please post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas. Love hearing from you. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.